going on, dudes and dudettes? So Andrew Voorhees, the top offensive lineman for USC, he was injured towards late in the year, but looks like he's healthy enough to go at least be invited to the NFL Combine in a couple months. So hopefully he will be able to work out, and if not, just be able to get interviewed and all that stuff by all the teams and coaches, whoever is going to be there for those NFL teams drafting. But also, I did see that a total of 5 players were invited, but they didn't really put out a press for Travis Dye, if I don't remember, to be invited. And once again, I don't know if he's even playing, because they said he was going to be playing in that East-West Shrine game, and I don't see any stats from him either. Maybe he was just practicing or just talking with the coaches and stuff there, and will most likely be doing the same thing once he gets to the Combine as well. But either way, at least these guys will get their names out there and hopefully still get drafted somewhere in the middle of the draft, especially for Voorhees, because he's one of the top-ranked interior offensive linemen throughout this whole entire year. And then also, Travis Dye was really good when he was healthy. He just had a freak accident, so hopefully he has recovered well and will be able to play for them in the near future in the NFL. And then when it comes to a La Costa Canyon kicker from, I believe it's around San Diego area, his name is Tyler Robles, and he is apparently committed to USC to be on the roster, but as a preferred walk-on, so he's not going to count as one of the roster spots, which is good. I prefer to have guys that are at least talented enough to be on there, especially the kickers. You got to earn that type of scholarship unless you're just really that good from out of high school. But at least he'll be able to have a competition with the kicker that was there, who was okay. Dennis Lynch was all right. He did miss a lot of like the farther ones, but this guy is supposedly really good and been on USC's radar the past couple years, so maybe he will end up taking that job in the near future. But then I remember talking about a preferred walk-on running back, and I believe he was from Calabasas, that high school. His name was King Miller, like a couple videos ago, and apparently both him and his twin brother, I believe his name is Kalon Miller, he's a defensive lineman though, on that team in Calabasas, and apparently they are both coming into USC as preferred walk-ons. For some reason, they didn't say anything about Kalon that day, but apparently looks like they will be joining as PWO, so that's always cool to add some depth, especially some local talent guys in and around the LA area. That's always nice to have that depth, like I said. Then yes, you saw my video. I think I did do a video, or maybe it was just a live video of when LeBron James was recently the all-time scorer in NBA history. Yeah, and that already got like copyrighted, so I had already taken it down because it was private. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see. Saw it live, that nice fadeaway shot that he had over, I think it was Birch or Kenrich Williams. Yeah, I get those two mixed up because they're the only two guys in the world that I've heard of with that name, Kenrich. But yes, it was a very nice shot, and yeah, there's also like drama after it too, because AD was on the bench, didn't stand up right away to go congratulate him either. And I thought it was only weird that it happened like with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. The Lakers were still losing in the game by like 5 points. And then they all of a sudden like literally stopped play to do this whole 5, almost 10-minute ceremony of giving, Kareem giving the ball to LeBron, taking pictures, and him having like a little speech afterward as well. And then it kind of ruined the momentum, I believe, because then they had to play those 10 seconds and then kind of recoup and get back into it. And even after that, LeBron had only scored 2 more points in that fourth quarter, and they still lost by 3. So either way, it still was a stinker of a night, as they say. But yeah, overall, it is a pretty cool stat. It's obvious that he's one of the greater players in NBA history. I'm not saying he is the greatest, because that'll get into a whole longer debate. But I mean, to be the top scorer and top 4 in assists as well, and then top 30 or something like that in rebounds, he is one of the more better utility players of all time in NBA history. But either way, great accomplishment, especially that he was passing a Laker, and he is a Laker as well. So either way, I am cool with that. And then yes, big time trade that happened yesterday, like middle of the day. think you saw my little quick short that I put up that, yes, Russell Westbrook is finally being traded to the Utah Jazz with one of those late first round picks in the future, the 2027 first round pick, which I believe is still top 4 protected. So if the Lakers are somehow sucking in what is that, 3 or 4 years, then and they get into that top 4 in the lottery, then they get to keep the pick. And then actually even after that, it gets put into like a second round pick or something like that. So it doesn't even convert to another first rounder, which is nice. So kind of hoping that the Lakers are sucking at that time, but they probably won't be because they are the Lakers and they're my team, so they don't suck. But yeah, overall, it wasn't that crazy of a deal. They are getting D'Angelo Russell from the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were added along in this deal. Obviously, have some bad history with him just because he was drafted by the Lakers out of Ohio State when he was younger, and I didn't like the choice there. Obviously, thought about other guys that they should have gone after during that time, and he's just been pretty average overall. Sometimes plays above average, but either way, I think he could help out this type of Lakers team that they do have at the moment. He's matured and gotten a little bit better, but once he's in the LA spotlight, who knows how he's going to end up, converting to play again once he's with the Lakers. So we'll see, but hopefully he has matured and grown up, and we'll see how it goes. But the two bigger pieces that I thought that the Lakers got, who are also young, developing guys, are Malik Beasley from Utah and also Jared Vanderbilt from Utah, who was actually traded from Minnesota, earlier before the season for Rudy Gobert. So he was been moving around a bit, but he's one of the more talented guys who can help you out not only on defense but rebounding as well. And Malik Beasley, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He could score for you, play somewhat of defense, play like the 1 through 3. So I like his versatility overall. So I think the Lakers did end up winning this trade, especially only having to give up one of those future first round picks and not both. Definitely very excited about that. I thought they might do maybe another big trade after that, but they only were able to get a couple of good, nice supporting role players here and there, and got actually a couple more future second round picks that they were maybe going to use, but I guess the deal did not go through because they were only able to get Patrick Beverley being traded to the Orlando Magic for Mo Bamba, who at the time when he came out, when he was drafted by Orlando, he was like a top 6 overall player out of Texas. He's definitely very tall. He's like 7 foot, but his wingspan is probably even more than that. Even these past couple of years, he's becoming a better rebounder and defender, especially when blocking shots. So, yeah, the Lakers definitely needed someone more like that with Anthony Davis instead of just another guy who's an offensive type of player, especially at that center position. So I didn't mind this at all, especially that I think they ended up giving up a second round pick, they gave up a second round pick or something in this trade. I could be completely wrong about that because I didn't really look into this one because it happened way later. But they did make another trade where Thomas Bryant was being traded to Denver, which is kind of surprising just because Denver is the team that's ahead of the Lakers in the Western Conference, and Bryant was playing well when AD was out, but he hasn't really gotten his fair shot. He had even asked for a trade after the game the other day because he felt he could contribute to another team quicker and play more minutes somewhere else. So they traded him to Denver. They got Davon Reed, who is an okay guard, but I don't think he's going to be really playing that much for the Lakers. But they also did get a lot of second round picks, especially in the future, like 25, 26, 29, something like that. So at least 3 of them being sent back to the Lakers. So that's pretty cool. So they could be able to use that in a trade this offseason at some point, which they could go off and try to get someone else or try to sweeten the deal on a sign-and trade, something like that. So that'll be pretty cool to see if it does end up happening. And even for that Mo Bamba guy, he's like the 3rd time that a big man being drafted by the Orlando Magic has ended up on the Lakers roster. Obviously, it was Shaquille O'Neal first, then Dwight Howard, and now it's going to be Mo Bamba. And it's been good luck so far. You had at least a title with each one of those guys. So maybe if you keep Mo Bamba on the roster, the Lakers could end up winning a title at some point. You never know. So it could be very interesting. Even in that, D'Angelo and Russell Westbrook trade, Mike Conley Jr. got sent to the Minnesota Timberwolves along with Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Utah. They're both from Utah, and also like 3 second-round picks as well were sent. I don't know if any were from the Lakers. Maybe they were, at least one of them. But yeah, Minnesota got quite a bit. Looks like they might be trying to send out some other people at some point in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see what they do with Karl Anthony Towns as well. Then when it comes to Anaheim Ducks, yes, they played last night, or maybe the other day. Ended up beating Chicago 3-2 in overtime. So obvious, that's why they got the victory, because it was in overtime. But Toronto, I believe, was the guy who scored the game-winning goal. So congrats to the Anaheim Ducks on their 1 win a week thing that they've been going on this season. Then when it comes to the young guys out of Duke, Paolo Banchero and AJ Griffin, who both play for Orlando and Atlanta respectively, but they have both been named to the All-Stars Rising Stars game, which obviously gets played on that Friday before the All-Star game on that Sunday to showcase the first and second year players. Obviously, they're both rookies, so they most likely will be in the game next year, as well. So it's obviously pretty cool to at least have a couple of days where I'll be able to appreciate the Duke guys. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And of course, speaking of Duke guys, a lot of other guys were involved in trades. Usually they haven't been lately, but kind of had been USC guys, but now Duke was involved. So Cam Reddish, one of the first trades to go down, he was sent from New York to Portland for Josh Hart. It's actually an ex-Laker as well. But the Knicks got Hart, but Cam Reddish was sent to Portland. So maybe that will finally unlock him some more playing time and be able to get onto the court and show what he's made of. But yeah, Portland's interesting because it seemed like they got some guys, but then also gave up pretty good, talented guys as well. So I don't really know what they're doing. They're just kind of staying even keel. Then Luke Kennard, obviously I hated that he got traded to the Clippers a few years back, but at least he's now being traded somewhere else, and that is the Memphis Grizzlies. He was part of, I think, a big trade that either included Houston or Charlotte. One of those deals that the Clippers were a part of. I think even the Clippers were involved in like a Denver deal. Something crazy like that. So it could have been a 4-team trade. They could have been multiple separate ones. But either way, he's out of LA, sadly. Now with the Lakers and with Memphis, who's also another Western Conference team. But hey, good luck to him. He should be all right there. They play very well up and down, and he's a good three-point shooter, so he'll be all right. Then Mason Plumlee, who's been with Charlotte, but he was recently traded actually to the Clippers. So you lose a Duke guy, and then you get another one back in LA, which is pretty crazy. But he has been playing pretty well, even though he's like last part of his career and all that stuff playing in Charlotte. So we'll see what he can do and add to the roster for the Clippers. So good luck to him. And yeah, of course, it's like all these guys, all these big time trades, even KD to Phoenix, everybody once again is coming to the Western Conference, and it's like the Eastern Conference is going to be so easy once again to get through when the playoffs start, and the Western Conference is going to be impossible as it is already just to even get into the playoffs. But whatever, we'll digress. When it comes to Constantine too, so yeah, there were reports a while ago that they were looking to get this thing made. Even Keanu Reeves was signed on to get the second one going. And then the other day, some report or rumor came out saying that it's been like stalled and they weren't gonna continue with it, and it kind of had been shut down basically. So it was kind of, messing up my hopes for at least another Constantine with Keanu. But then apparently the very next day, Warner Brothers, who would be making the movie, said that the report was false and that it's still in development. So either way, it's still like a 50-50 that this thing does or does not get made. Obviously, the same director, same actor want to come back and continue this story, but DC is trying to do their whole different thing. They're even trying to get rid of the guys that they have now as actors, guys and girls, and get other people. So he was never really part of DC. I didn't even know Constantine was a DC character until after I saw the movie and stuff. So, and there wasn't even anything really involved with like Batman or Superman, anything like that. But the guys who are running DC now also said they're going to do things called Elseworlds, which obviously that can go into it too, because they're doing a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix again, and that's obviously not going to be part of their cinematic universe either. So I think they could still get this done, hopefully. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then the other day, Fawlty Towers is apparently going to be getting a reboot from not only John Cleese, who will be returning as Basil Fawlty, but he's going to be help writing it with his daughter as well. So I guess it's a full reboot, but it's still going to have the same characters, or whoever is still alive, but I guess it's still that same character, Basil, running like some type of antique shop or something like that. So I don't know, when it comes to John Cleese as of the past decade, I don't know how crazy he has been with like the physical comedy, like Jim Carrey, how he was in the 70s and 80s, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure he's still quick-witted, very funny as well. One of my dad's favorite British television shows that he showed me when I was young, and obviously I became a fan as well. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully it comes out soon. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.